behave. He's not even warming up. Because if he pulls himself up, that's 40 minutes.
He's not leaving the house.
No. Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your match preview show for Bromley. That's right, it's a cup game Tuesday night. Anyone getting flashbacks to AFC Wimbledon away last season? What a night that was. Cameron Burgess didn't have his greatest night in a township shirt that night, but then turned into Superman, Matt, for the rest of the season. So it goes to show one game means nothing.
Exactly. We remember thinking that going, well, Burgess is they're barely going to play for us this season. Then, of course, a couple of months later, he's playing like Superman. Yeah, absolutely.
But I'll put my cards on the table nice and early, right? And they're not bingo cards. All right, they are traditional cards, but you can get your bingo cards in. Do not forget we are partnered with. This wasn't actually a segue to start off with, but we're going to run with it now. We are partnered with Match Bingo. Match Bingo ingeniously combines the excitement of live sports with the thrill of bingo to give you a brand new way to enjoy live sports. Your card has 15 random events from a live football game, free kick, corner, etc. Watch them automatically as the match unfolds. Scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. T&Cs apply, but please, as I always say, whatever you do, gamble responsibly. But yeah, cards on the table. I don't particularly like cup games or cups.
What don't you like about them? Well, the fact we never win any. That's a good enough reason.
35 sadly missed us winning a cup. Sadly missed us looking good in a cup. And I can still remember you coming on here, and it was a cup game because the Papa John's is a cup, and you were still full of it, saying we've just been beaten by a bunch of teenagers.
It's absolutely embarrassing. We've just lost to teenagers.
The Arsenal kids. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I suppose if the people of your age, there's nothing to be excited about in the cups, really, other than probably that run that we had where we got to the semi-final in the League Cup and we beat Arsenal, didn't we? The Priskin goal. When we were between managers, weren't we, at that point? I think Keno just got sacked, didn't we?
Yes.
We lost 7-0 to Chelsea in the cup. Then we've got that.
Chris Hutchinson in charge. Is that his name?
It was Chris Hutchins. Yeah, it was. And then Paul Jules coming in for the
Arsenal away leg.
Then we got done 3-0, didn't we? The Ipswich never done well, particularly in the League Cup. And I was thinking in my mind, because, when we got promoted into the Premier League, you're thinking, what's the next decade?
I warned you about that, about thinking before, Matt. You shouldn't be doing that.
What's the next decade, 20 years going to look like? And I was thinking, we established ourselves in the Premier League. We'll try and win the Carabao Cup going forward, and that'll get us into Europe and all that kind of thing. We'll get to Wembley. Obviously, that all went down the toilet, didn't it, with the season that we had?
Pretty quickly.
But it's weird, the League Cup this season, because there's so many teams have qualified for Europe out of the Premier League that they all come in at certain stages, don't they? They've had to, in order to lose one of the Football League clubs, they've had to have an extra preliminary round for the first time ever in League Cup history, which was Accrington and Oldham. They played in the week and Accrington won. And now we come to the forefront against Bromley, which is a team we've never played against competitively. Well, it'd been a non-league team for the best part of 100 plus years or wherever it was.
And it's on the box.
It is exciting, which is good news, because how many tickets have been made available for about 1,000 maybe? And he holds about 5,000 there, I think. Very tiny ground.
This is going to be a little shock to the world. A little preview.
Okay.
I'm hoping to do a watch long Tuesday night.
Are you? I thought for a minute, I thought you were going to say you've actually been to watch Bromley play.
No.
That was pushing it so far there.
No, far too far. No, I'm hoping to do a watch along. So hopefully, if all things go well, if all things line up as they hopefully will, I'll be doing a watch along for this game. So do come and join me. If I'm not doing a watch along, I'll definitely do a match reaction.
Well, I think I'm going to bring in, Walton has stayed at the club, so I'm going to bring Walton in to play a game. And obviously, Kieran Slick has gone out to Barnet, who lost to Bromley 2-0.
Was he in goal?
Yeah. He played in that game. That was his debut, and Bromley beat him 2-0. So Bromley at the moment are sitting after they win 7th in the table in League Two. So I'm going to bring Walton in to give him some minutes. I mean, look, there's an argument to say that do you want to give Palmer a run of games, just to get that under his belt, really? I mean, sometimes we just change players for the sake of it. Oh, it's as you saying, it's a League Cup, he can sit out. Maybe Palmer wants some momentum, really, just, on the back of starting the new season. But if you're looking at kind of fairness and trying to keep the squad happy, it makes sense to bring Christian Moulton into the fold. Right back, I'm probably going to play Johnson again because he got subbed Friday night against Birmingham City. But I would certainly be playing him again. I'm probably going to, even though O'Shea's now captain, I'm probably going to change the two centre-halves around because I think you need to give Wolfenden some game time and you need to give probably Kipre some game time. So I'm probably going to bring those two in if we're having this four at the back, which I'm presuming we're going to. So Wolfenden and Kipre. You've not really seen Kipre yet, have you? I mean, an absolute man mountain. As I said on one of the shows, that's someone I'm going to watch being critical of. He could use me as a toothpick. Well, left back is going to be an issue for us, I think. I mean, I've got in my team, I'm playing Davis. Connor Townsend would have been a shoe-in.
Surely Humphrey's going to play there. Oh, wait. No, you can't, because currently as things stand, you've only got 2 midfield players. So you can't play him there.
We'll get to midfield yet. Yeah, exactly.
Where's Dominic Ball when you need him?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a gutter, isn't it, for Connor Townsend? I mean, he's a really good defender, as we've said before. He does so many things so well. He's not got like Leif Davis's attacking prowess, but he can still put a ball into the box. He's a good defender. He's probably a better tackler than what Leif Davis is.
Yeah, agreed.
He can also take a good set piece from corners and stuff, as Al Hamadi found out when he stuck it on his head for the goal against Wimbledon this time last year in the League Cup. So I think Leif has to play. You could play Ashley Dunn, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, there could be an argument given how well Young did when he come off the bench at St Andrews Friday night. I'm probably going to play Davis, though. You know, they are footballers, Martin. I don't really want all the first team sitting out ahead of Southampton. I mean, you are coming off the back of, you know, a 2-month holiday and pre-season and going in and now hitting the ground running. This is your job. This is what you do.
And
we said that Paul Lambert, didn't we? He said there's too many games. Well, this is what you do. This is part and parcel. So that's my 4 at the defence anyway. So I'd be going Johnson, Wolfie, Kipre, Davis. As we said on our show Saturday evening, we're lacking numbers here at the moment. So I'm probably going to go with Matiswa again, just to give him more of a flavour of English football. And, you know, he's made his competitive debut for us in the Championship in the, probably you won't get no more raucous atmosphere than that this season against Birmingham. So let's see what it's like when he goes down in a packed Bromley, 5,000, tight ground, small stadium, not great facilities, not great pitch, maybe, I'm not sure. Let's stick him in there and see how he does.
Paris Saint-Germain.
yeah. It's going to be a culture shift.
Round.
Exactly. And then I'm probably going to play Humphreys next to him. You know, we keep saying is Humphreys got a future with us. Well, if we're going to talk about sides that are being a side that's going to be a little bit more physical as it looks to transition into getting back into the Premier League, does Humphreys tick that box? Well, he needs to have the opportunity. And as I said to Leando in the show last week, you know, everyone's been talking about it's Richard Kone for Wickham, haven't they? Scored X amount of goals, 20 goals, whatever, in League One, and he's getting linked left, right, and centre with clubs, including ourselves. Well, Humphreys was their young player of the year and their player of the year for the supporters. So, you know, he's had a standout season in League One. We're playing League Two opposition. Let's stick him into the midfield, which is more natural position. He plays in the 10 for Wickham last season, but he really is a centre mid for us. Let's stick him in there and see how he does. Let's see for our own eyes how that 46 games, whatever he did for Wickham last season, has rubbed off against a team like Bromley.
On Matasiwa, I would be sitting him out and playing Jack Taylor with Cam Humphreys. It'd be Taylor and Humphreys in midfield for me.
No comments about that. It's decent too, I think.
Yeah, and it'd be Young at left back. I know I mentioned Humphreys could play there, but it'd be Ashley Young at left back. You rest Leif Davis. You get some minutes under the belt for Ashley Young, minutes under the belt more for Ben Johnson, and the midfield too would be Taylor and Humphreys, because you've got Jens Karius now coming back. There is an argument maybe you could start Jens Karius, get him.
We don't know what kind of pre-season he's had. We were discussing this on the phone, weren't we? Don't know what kind of
get better by not playing minutes, is it?
True, that's true enough. Yeah, I do get that. You do get. I mean, as we said on Saturday's show, there's still a question mark around how many games Cahuste is going to be giving us. I mean, do you play him against Bromley? Then he's not going to be fit enough to play against Southampton. We'd rather Mill play against Southampton, right? Than this one. But yeah, we still don't know how much if to social media is to be believed, and Fabrizio Romano and all these people with the ITK, just sounds like he spent most of the summer flying around Europe and Saudi Arabia trying to agree deals.
He's racked up the air miles, I think, this summer, if you believe the reports, in terms of where he was going.
In an ideal world, he would play, though. I mean, look, he did play in that game with Wimbledon last season, didn't he, with Calvin Phillips? And actually, they weren't a bad combo in the end in the Premier League, but they look like complete strangers then. And of course, as we know, Matasiwa and Cahuste have obviously played in a midfield together under Will Steele, I think it was, at Reims. So there's already a partnership there. As soon as we can get that going, I think, the better, because that could well be the engine room that propels us through. But again, Cahuste, question mark over the fitness.
Yeah, as I said to you last night, when it end the season a million years ago, right? It's been quite a short summer.
Yeah, it was May the 25th, 26th of that West End game, I think.
This isn't perhaps football of old, where he's going to be turning up 5 stone overweight, and you're thinking, oh, my days, what's he been doing this summer?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be in tip-top condition. All right, not match sharp, but you're not going to get match sharp by sitting on the bench. And
It's a good point.
I think at least 45 Tuesday night, if not 50, is a good way of bedding him into being off the bench Sunday. I wouldn't then start him Sunday, because obviously you are managing those minutes, you are bringing him along, and you've got to respect he hasn't had a pre-season. But you say about how there's too many games, says Paul Lambert. There are players, yeah, but this isn't football of old where they go off and they do whatever they like for the summer, and then they return and do the bleep test and away they go.
Yeah,
they are fine-tuned athletes that will still take care of themselves in the summer.
Do they still do the bleep? Do they still do the bleep test?
I got no bloody idea, man. I used to go and hide when it was the bleep test for me. I was like,
used to do that in
here's
PE.
my sick note.
Yeah, there'd be kids like throwing up after lunch.
I forgot me PE.
Yeah. The funniest bleep test I saw was on that Harry's Heroes. You know, when Redknapp takes a load of England legends to go and play Germany, didn't they? And I think Razor Ruddock just manages one length and he goes and sits down.
Good old Razor. But do you know what I mean? We didn't end the season that long ago, and I ain't talking about playing 90 Tuesday, 90 Sunday, because that ain't Jens Kajust anyway, or it hasn't been over.
That's going to be the reality of the situation.
No.
But
if you want to get 20 out of him Sunday, I think you need to get something out of him Tuesday.
Personally. Yeah, it makes sense. It does make sense. And you would like to see Humphreys given a chance, would you, against Bromley?
Yeah.
Against the new side?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, when I talk about midfield and needing more bodies in there, it's never anything against Cam Humphreys. You don't ever doubt his ability. You just doubt where his current ability is compared to the expectation that's currently on the football club. Those two don't always seemingly go hand in hand, or I wouldn't have thought.
No, that's very true. I think what let us down against Birmingham really was the three behind Hurst, wasn't it?
They play free?
Yeah. And we sort of said, didn't we, on the Saturday show, we didn't really get much out of Clark. We didn't really get much out of Ogbene. That's probably why we looked pretty toothless, certainly in that first half. Well, actually in the second half as well, because what did we say on that show? Our only shot on target is the penalty in the 93rd minute, which is not going to fly for us, is it? So the three I'm looking at, well, in an ideal world, I'm hoping that Jayden will be back. He obviously takes that knock against Auxerre and comes off. There were loads of rumours circulating. This is the problem with social media, and he's out for the season. And then McKenna says it's not as bad as we think. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that he might be able to come back in and, like you say, at least give us some time, even just if it's the first half, just to try and get back in. Because he was a real standout performer in pre-season. I know you didn't see much of it, as you say. And I've been very critical of Jayden finishing because I didn't like his body language when it came in. And he looked like he was a little bit half-hearted. But his pre-season been really good. And he scores 2 good goals against Aberdeen. His passing was fantastic, outside the boot, down the left flank. He won the penalty against that Blau-Weiss Linz. Was playing well against Auxerre, although he had a bit of a horrific miss from about 7 yards.
Yes, he did. I saw that. Yes, I saw that.
Ordinarily would have stuck that in. So, where I've been critical, I also want to be positive about him. He's our record signing as it stands right now. And he looked like the record signing in pre-season. So hopefully he can come back in. If not, then you're probably going to play Ogbene, I think, because he was missing pretty much at St Andrews. But as people rightly said in the comments, and yourself, he ain't played a competitive game since October, November, that Brentford game, whenever it was. So he needs to get back up to speed as well. So maybe a combination there.
Is there an argument, 2 arguments actually, that you run it back with the 3 that started Friday and you say, show me more, give me more?
There's an argument for
2
that.
more.
Yeah.
And the same argument I had with Sammy Schmodek, not had with him personally, obviously. I mean, I had on the show about him starting at Coventry.
You don't be arguing with Sammy Schmodek because he said the brick chewer.
No. If Kipri's your man, you don't want to argue with. Schmodek is my man, I don't want to argue with.
Yeah.
But the argument was, if he's injured or coming back from an injury, is it a game you want to bring him back into? Are you better off not waiting? And I'll bring the same argument up here. That was the friendly in France where he got injured, correct? So he's missed 1 game since that injury, which was the season opener. So what I'm saying is missing 1 game shouldn't hurt him that much. So playing 20 minutes off the bench, if you're losing, if it's going well, Tuesday could be something you do, but I'd be more inclined to take him out of the pitch altogether and keep him for Sunday because, that's the bread and butter. The Championship's the bread and butter. You've got 45 more games. You've got a fairly big game because of who it is on the Sunday. if he comes back and does a Smodics against Bromley,
you'll never get over that, will you? And you did rightly say to me before that game kicks off, why is Smodics playing against Coventry?
It made no sense then. It makes no sense now. And the same argument for Jaden Philogene.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair dues. Fair dues.
But tell me, if he's only missed one game, and then he misses 2 with the Bromley game, is that really going to severely impact the way he can perform? Having had a pre-season.
Yeah, no, I get that thinking, considering how sharp he looked in pre-season. I mean, look, he was coming out of that injury that he got at Chelsea, didn't he? That made him miss the 21 Euros. Misses out that winner's medal, gutting for him.
But he's had a whole pre-season of he had 20 minutes in France, missed Birmingham, then misses Bromley. It shouldn't affect him that badly.
I'm just thinking back to the Auxerre game. He certainly, I would say, he had a good hour against Auxerre, I would say, before we got injured.
So if he's missing 2 games, and it's not a Jens Caillou situation.
No, it's not. No, I agree with you on that one.
Sitting down,
Benny for you.
Run it back. Go out there and show me more. Because that was not, not just from Ogbenny, but from the 3 of them. Smodics had an opportunity. You could argue maybe Chaplin starts because you know you're going to get from Smodics, and it's not.
I do have Chaplin starting. He actually did quite well when he came on, didn't he? Then he got strangled by that massive guy. What was it? Klarner was his name? Klarner. Yeah, I mean, that's your favourite pay thing, isn't it? Klarner. I think that is the geezer's name. Sort of strangled him.
My favourite pay thing. I don't ever bloody use it, but it's the only one I reference quite a bit.
It's an interesting dynamic, isn't it, between him and Chaplin this season, I think, because it felt when Smodics come in for 9-10 million or whatever it was, it felt like that maybe curtains for Connor, didn't it? And he sort of got, then you get injuries and what have you, and rotation and whatever, and Connor did come in. He got that goal against Bournemouth, but it felt like someone who'd been so integral to our last championship campaign and got 13 goals, I think it was, same as Broadhead. It felt like just Smodics was going to come in, really. So I mean, it's going to be interesting how those 2 dovetail. If they can both stay fit for this season. And I'd probably go on the left-hand side. I like the Clark thinking. We're both Clark fans. We want him to be doing well. But there's still a question mark over how much impact he can bring into the game. We saw him having not a great Premier League season. He gets to start against Coventry in the Cup. And as I've said before, they're like Messi, didn't he? Unbelievable. Scores a goal. Looked really good. He looked really good. But I see now, there's still question marks around Broadhead, isn't there?
There shouldn't be, though. That is an awful situation. And I've not had a chance to sort of discuss it yet.
I mean, what would you do? Yeah, I mean, me and Leandro discussed
this
one. You would sell him. I mean, it makes sense.
No, you wouldn't sell him. No.
Now I want him to stay, but I would sell him given they want to pay nearly 8 million for him, and he's got 1 year left on his contract.
You want to put a 1 in front of
him because I like him.
You want to put a 1 in front of that to sell him?
Well, I mean, as we said on Saturday's show, we can't keep sort of saying, "All right, we've lost the lap. We think Amari's going to go." Broadhead's been linked with Wrexham. Leif Davis getting linked with clubs. Al Hamady being loaned out or whatever. We've got to have people coming in to replace these. I mean, we've seen how threadbare we were at St Andrews. I mean, that's not going to be sustainable at all, is it? New faces would have to come in order for us to think about these players leaving. I actually think now, Paul and gel. You've got a gel, Marcin. Paul Cook vibes. I mean, I would love to keep Broadhead. I think he's good and he's quality at this level. Absolute quality. That's why Wrexham want to pay 8 million for him. If they want to pay 8 million for him, then I'd be keeping him. But whether or not that's money they want to turn down, I don't know. But we saw him get a bit of a cameo at St Andrews. I'd probably be starting him, if not Clark, then Broadhead in this. And then I'm probably going to play Al Hamady. I mean, look, where did he make his name? In League 2 for Wimbledon. So I mean, this should, everyone keeps talking about bread and butter, like George Hurst said with his penalty. This is bread and butter for me. This should be for him. And we saw him score against Wimbledon last season. Let's see what he can do against Bromley, and then we'll see how we go. But it all feels a little bit threadbare, in terms of who you're trying to keep ready for Southampton and who you might risk minutes for in this Bromley game off the bench. Yeah, it's
I agree. I agree with Ali starting up front because you haven't got any other options, so you've got to rest George Hurst. We know how important it is we keep him fit and fresh, particularly.
Yeah, exactly that.
You've got to be done. And in terms of Broadhead, I'm not saying he's necessarily worth 18 million when I say put a 1 in front of that 8. That isn't what I'm saying. What my issue with this whole Nathan Broadhead situation is Jack Clark, when he's on it, he's great. When he's not on it, you need somebody else to change games. And Nathan Broadhead is the needle mover. Nathan Broadhead is a player that can make something out of nothing, can come off the bench, receive the ball within 3 yards of space, beat a player, have a shot, 1-0, 1-1, back in the game, winning the game, walking away 3 points, all these different things. Yes, he's got 1 year left on his deal. But what's promotion worth? It's
Yeah, he
worth a
wasted
lot
it,
more than £8
yeah.
million. That's why I say put the 1 in front of it, because to replace what he could bring to this season and the contribution to getting back your Premier League status and the money and the riches that brings, you want a lot more than £8 million, because he's going to contribute through goals and assists. We saw it last season in the Premier League when even he was injured, when he was coming back from injury, he was still contributing. He still had those moments, still had those key big chances in games where, yeah, he's probably got to do a little bit better, Matt, but he's still having them. That's Nathan Broadhead. That's what he does in the Championship. And yes, he's not quite the cheat code of Murray Hutchinson is, but he certainly is somebody that is going to contribute a lot to winning back your Premier League status. Certainly a lot more than what £8 million could do for your football club's finances.
That's a great speech. Got me sold on that one. That's really good. Now, you just mentioned him. Hutchinson, are you going to play him? Oh, he's still an Ipswich player.
No. He's got 40 million quid on his head. He ain't seen a blade of grass for anything other than the Championship game of football. Like, if we're playing Southampton tomorrow, Tuesday night, then yeah, I'll be playing him because he's under contract.
And we need those points.
The valuation is met, you're going to be, we need those points, and that's the way it is. Now, obviously, he's not very well, and as somebody who suffers from a reoccurring throat infection.
What about that?
Look, my arm is figuratively around him. If he needs any advice, he knows where to find me because I've got loads of it. It's been 15 years of it. But if he's fit, he plays. But if it's the Carabao Cup, he ain't seen a blade of grass.
I get it.
He's not even warming up, because if he pulls himself up, that's 40 million.
He's not leaving the house.
No, feet up, beer in hand, enjoy the game.
You've got to be careful putting your feet up. Do you remember Rio Ferdinand done a ligament or something, didn't he, with his feet up watching the telly? I do hope Ali can have a good, if he does play in the Bromley game, which I'm pretty certain he's going to. I do hope he can do well, because he's looked good in pre-season and he's kind of been written off, really, because he wasn't Premier League ready, was he? Again, you go back to like a Cameron Humphreys. Oh well, the development of the club's been quicker than what Cameron's come along with, which is why he goes to Wickham. Ali didn't really get that luxury, did he? Because of he had to pay second fiddle to Delap because Hurst was out injured, and because he's not a Premier League striker, everyone kind of wrote him off. And he goes to Stoke, and he probably struggled a little bit there. And of course, he signed for his injured, didn't he? When he came from Wimbledon, he had that abductor injury, which he had that operation on. Maybe it's taken him a while to get over that. So he's looked confident in pre-season. I thought he had a pretty good cameo on the right-hand side of the free when he come on at St Andrews. I mean, he has a nice little move, doesn't he? Actually slips over, unfortunately for him. Got onto the edge of the 6-yard box, and there was a chance there. I was screaming, shoot, have a go. So I hope he can have a good game. But, when you are looking how threadbare it is, it's Al Hamadi and that's it, isn't it? Because, he's probably going to get 90 minutes, and then they go straight to pens if it's a draw. So he's probably going to do all 90, I would have thought. Let's just hope someone like a Chuba Akpom or someone else comes onto the radar that we can sign in time for Southampton. Well, I'm going to predict a rare Ipswich Town victory. Let's hope we could do so against the League Two side. I mean, as we said earlier, they beat Barnet 2-0 with Kieran Slicker in goal for Barnet. So, they're riding a crest of the wave, aren't they? I mean, Bromley, forever a non-league side, and now applying their trade in League Two. Ipswich Town, former Premier League side, coming down to their small ground, 5,000. Could be a really good atmosphere down there. It might just be something that will light a fire under us a little bit. And I think we need that win going into Southampton. We don't want a poor performance like we had against Birmingham going into that Southampton game, really. So I'd like to think Town can probably put something routine together like we've seen in the pre-seasons. I'd like to think we can go there and do what we did towards there, to be honest with you, and win like 3-0. That's probably what I'll go with.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take that every day of the week. Get your comments in with your score predictions, team thoughts, and whether you also agreed with Matt or not towards that last part of the show. But until then, don't forget we are partnered with East Anglian Air Ambulance. If you want to help save lives and have the chance to win £1,000 every week, play the East Anglian Air Ambulance Lottery. By playing from just £1 each week, you're helping to keep their yellow helicopters flying. The East Anglian Air Ambulance Lottery creates 18 winners every week with prizes ranging from £50 to £1,000. Over 18s only. T&Cs apply. Links in the description. And as I always say, please, please, please gamble responsibly. And if you need osteopath or physiotherapy, give Freddie a call. I'm on 449 Don't live life in pain. Big old Freddie. Can't wait to see him. Actually, when am I seeing him? Not quick enough, Matthew. The plane ride home has really done me in.
I was going to say, I mean, surely your back would have been okay, wouldn't it? Like stretched out on that sun lounger for 14 days, where it was.
They are quite low. They are quite.
I don't have that issue.
as I'm getting up, as I'm getting older, they're getting lower, or I'm just getting more tight. But either way, we're done. We're dusted. This man here is a saint and a legend. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Join me on Tuesday for either a watch along and a match reaction, or just a match reaction. But join me on Tuesday, and we will dissect whatever we see with Bromley. Interesting. Looking forward to seeing it. See who plays first and foremost. Because you could stick out a whole 11 players that are Premier League experienced with that threadbare. But we shall see. But until then, take care. All the best. God bless. God bless, rather.